Hi, welcome to today's segment of Safe and Safe Heaven with Ogo. And on today's segment, we have a very important topic to discuss with you. First of all, we need to know what is abuse, child abuse, and forms of abuse, so that when we're talking about abuse, we know what we're talking about. So just relax with me as we dissect them one after the other. And I believe at the end of this video, we must have learned something that will give our children safe environments.
What is abuse?
What is abuse? Abuse is a treatment or a behavior that causes harm, injury on another person. Do you understand it now? It's a behavior or treatment that causes harm, injury, or exploitation on another person. Oftentimes, it is done in a repeated manner.
What is child abuse?
Child abuse is known as child maltreatment in any form. Now, child maltreatment in any form. Now, this will now take us to forms of child abuse.
What are forms of abuse?
What are the forms of abuse? We have so many forms of abuse, and it's good we identify them, we mention them. We have physical abuse, we have emotional abuse, we have verbal abuse, we have neglect, we have sexual molestation, sexual abuse, maybe I've mentioned that before. We have financial abuse, yes. We have institutional abuse. We have a whole lot of forms of abuse. And that will take us to today's topic, which is child physical abuse.
What is child physical abuse?
This is a form of child abuse that involves physical harm, injury inflicted on a child. Injury inflicted on a child, yes, that is child physical abuse. And this will take us to, I just want to remind you, there was a time, these stories of madam dealing with their mates and all that. I remember a time there was a story that someone had to plug the knife on the fire just to make sure that she disciplines the child or punish the child. Now that is child physical abuse, and this happens between madam, maid. You understand that kind of scenario where you want to deal with the child, you're already inflicting pains and all that. That is child physical abuse. In case if you're doing it, know that it is a form of child abuse.
Types of child physical abuse.
We have different types of child physical abuse. I just told you a story now. We have beating. It's not just to spank a child. When you spank a child is different. But there are people that will beat a child to the extent of maybe breaking the child's hand, inflicting wound. There are parents that will use pepper. Those days you hear it. You need to use pepper on the child, probably put it in the child's eyes and all that. That is child physical abuse. It has passed normal training of a child. It has exceeded it. Beating. We have burning, like I said in the story, where you have to use any heat of any form. Heat, like the heat, HEAT, using any heat of any form on a child. We have shaking. It's funny, but it's true. You shake that child, like shaking vigorously, like it causes brain damage. Yes, it causes brain damage. There are things you do to children that you try to make the child understand the weight of what they've done, not knowing that you are indirectly abusing that child. So these are the types. In case you identify the one you're doing, this is not normal. This is child abuse.
What are your advice to parents about concerning taking care of their kids and making sure they are not abused?